Okay, so this is a video of the worked problem for Module 2. In doing this video, as opposed to doing this in person, what I'm going to do is talk through the problem. I don't think I will necessarily answer the problem, but I guess more than anything, I'm trying to give you a way to approach a particular problem that you're very likely to see on the, in this case, Module 2 quant assessment. So, first of all, let's go through the question. So the graph below represents the marginal benefit and marginal cost of studying for an AGB test and an animal science test. Show, so again, I always try to underline the activity, the thing that you're supposed to do. Show on the graph the total cost of studying for the AGB test for 2 hours. So I often bold the term that you're going to be addressing. So out of this graph here, you're going to have to show, so you're drawing on the graph, the total cost of studying for the AGB test for 2 hours. So again, I'm giving you a particular situation to address. So obviously we have our studying on the horizontal axis. So we are going to be dealing with a particular kind of slice of the problem. Again, if you look at the title of the graph, one of these curves is the marginal benefit, and one of these is the marginal cost. So I give you the little clue. The marginal benefit, it says AGB, so you're thinking about the points regarding you're getting from AGB. The marginal cost is, if you recall from our examples in class, the marginal cost is reflecting animal science. So remember, it's that trade-off of studying more for AGB will result in an increase in points, that idea of marginal benefit. Again, marginal benefit equals change in total benefit over the change in the choice variable. Again, our choice variable is number of hours studying. So the marginal benefit is essentially talking about what's the increase or change in points generated from one more hour of studying. When we talk about the animal science tasks in terms of the marginal cost, what we're talking about is as you study another hour for AGB, so we can do this. What's it gonna cost us? Well, first of all, we know studying another hour for the AGB test will increase the points, but there's an opportunity cost. We have to give up time studying for the animal science, which means less studying for animal science means losing points. So this marginal cost is talking about what are the points lost on the animal science test. So again, what you have to do is identify which curve is the marginal benefit curve, which curve is the marginal cost curve, which one is this curve, which one is this curve, and then if you've identified the right curve, you're evaluating that curve, one of those curves at 2 hours, because again, that's what you've been told. But the issue is, what's the total cost? So remember, we were covering in class, one of the concepts we covered in the group work for Module 2 was this idea that, here let me increase this a little bit. What we do is, if you have the total, you can generate the marginal, and inversely, if you have the marginal, you can impute or figure out the total. Okay, so let's see, we're going to have to make that small again. So the trick here is to get the total from the marginal. We have this idea of area under the marginal gives you the total. So at this point, I think that should be enough of a clue. You're going to have to figure out which curve we're talking about, and then figure out how do you show that that total from that curve. Okay, so let's scroll up. Second question. Okay, so the table below, which is not the data for the graph above. Again, I'm just trying to make sure you know that it's a separate problem. Show the results of studying for different amounts of time for the AGB test. Calculate, so again, I'm just going to calculate, this is what you're supposed to do, the marginal benefit, so that's the concept we're addressing. Calculate the marginal benefit of studying for the AGB test and fill in the blanks on the table. So this is just a straight up calculation number. You're using your calculator. And I say you must not leave any numbers in a fraction. So again, I don't like fractions. Calculate, and I tell you to the first decimal. So again, marginal benefit, we've said before, is change in total benefit over the change in the choice variable, right? So total benefit, that's your score on your test. Choice variable is your hours studied. So you're going to have to, in going from, well, actually, so what we're saying is you calculate the marginal benefit from these, this, because you always have to use pairs of points, pairs of ordered points, okay? So again, just do the straight up calculation, but make sure you're calculating change in total benefit and the change in your choice variable. Okay, be careful. Okay. Anyway, I think I will stop there, and this should give you a clue as to how to approach these problems. Again, these two problems are very similar to what you're likely to see in the Module 2 quant assessment.